Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching in the world, welcome along to TTTV, and this is TTL F1 season number 15, round number 7, which takes us to the Temple of Speed. Yes, that's right, we're here in Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. My name is Kieran McGidley. Just me tonight. Unfortunately, Andy's had to pull out. His voice isn't feeling great tonight, so get well soon, Andy, and hope to see you next week. And well, we start off tonight with a little bit of a steward's incident. So basically, in the last round, we said that Jeffrey Henney finished in 6th place, and I went mad and said, "Oh my goodness, that's his best ever TTL finish ever." That result got overturned. Jeffrey was actually awarded with a, I believe, 10-second time penalty that was carried over from the round before, that I failed to pick up on. So that meant that with the position changes, that promoted Sean up to 6th, Troll then moved up to 7th, and Henny then finished off in 8th place. So that pretty much equalled his best result of the season so far. So he still came away with points in the Racing Point. However, he'll be a little bit downbeat that the penalty took course of action there. However, looking at the driver's standings then, well, we have Jack currently leading the way on 106 points. It's Lyronix in 2nd on 77. Navy is in 3rd on 63, with Troy in 4th on 59. Spike in 5th on 53 points. Recon in 6th on 51. Warren is in 7th on 40 points. Sean in 8th on 31. Lighty in 9th on 26. The Gort is rounding up the top 10 with 12 points. Henny and Old Man Barry joint 11th place with 10 points apiece. Mays is in 13th on 4 points. Charlie in 14th on 3 points. And then joint 15th place for the following drivers who have 0 points next to their name. It's Alan Kay, George, Graham and Conti, who joins us for the first ever time this season. So good luck to him. He's already been signed up by the TTG Racing crew. So let's see what he's made of. Let's see if the team have made a good investment or not. Now, I do welcome you along to this one. Obviously, Italian Grand Prix. It's going to be a quick Grand Prix. We're probably going to be done in about 40 minutes from the lights going out. It's a very quick track. Obviously, now Kimi Räikkönen holds the fastest average speed for a lap in qualifying, beating Juan Pablo Montoya's attempt in, I believe, 2003. That's the whole reason this car is in the game. But let's have a look and see. And what's going on in the chat. We've got Gavin straight in there saying, "Go on, Dylan," with Dylan Warren saying, "When you love sleeping instead of practicing." Recon says hello in the chat. Hello, Recon. Good to see you back in the Ferrari. The Tifosi will be expecting from the Ferraris tonight. Let's see what else we've got in the chat here. I think that's pretty much it. And I believe when we went into qualifying there, we had 15 drivers. So that's pretty good. I'm a fan of that, actually. So the Italian Grand Prix then here in Monza. There are 11 corners. And it's all about getting the names exactly right. We head in towards the Rettifilio chicane for the first one, into turns 1 and 2, then through the Curva Grande of turn 3, turns 4 and 5. Oh no, that's the name has gone away from me at the moment. It will come back to me, I know it will. Turns 6 and 7, of course, the Lesmos there as you make your way through the DRS zone. The Curva del Seraglio. It's not actually a corner number, but it does have a name. Then down towards turns 8, 9 and 10 of Ascari, such a legendary couple of corners there, and then on towards turn 11, the final corner, Parabolica, a 4th gear corner. Turn right and hope the car sticks to the ground, and of course it's tight on the entry, but then the corner levels out onto the start-finish straight, and then that is a lap of the Italian Grand Prix. And I was absolutely right, 15 drivers do join us for this fantastic race, and we've already got an engine fired up. So this breaks the streak of electric cars in the paddock. I've had two races in a row where engines have just not fired up, and we've had silent engines all the way through. But Recon leaving the pit lane now, and down towards the pit lane exit. Not sure who's going to be out there first, and I think it is going to be, yes it is, the championship leader Jack makes his way out onto the track first of all, in towards the Rettifilio chicane, and I'm going to have to find out what the name of that chicane is, because it's going to drive me mad. Absolutely mad. But anyway, Jack makes his way now through the Curva Grande. Of course, remember Vettel and Alonso going side by side through there, and well, that originated quite the drama there. Watch out for the gravel trap on the exit of that second chicane. It can catch a few drivers out as we head into the first Lesmo. Then we head towards the second Lesmo here. Through turn 7. Nicely done there from Jack in towards that first DRS zone, second DRS zone, whatever we want to call it. We now head under the bridge where the old banking, the old oval here, towards the Ascari chicane. It's the left, right, left. Very easy to invalidate your lap time through there as we make our way now towards Parabolica. Now making our way, rising through the gears, hitting just 206 miles per hour there as we make our way through. And towards the start finish line, riding on board with Jack then. Very short lap here at Monza. We cross the start finish line, and it's one of the highest speeds you'll see on the racing calendar. Hurtling our way now down towards the Rettifidio chicane, braking hard into one of the tightest corners on the track through turn 2. Watch the wheel spin on the exit now. You've got to build your way through the revs and through the gears, through the Curva Grande, full throttle through here as the track has a slight banking towards the apex of the corner. Here is the Roger chicane. I found it in the end through turns 4 and turn 5. Very easy to attack the left-hand side curve, not so easy to attack the right-hand curve, as we just saw there from Jack, running slightly wide into the gravel. Through the first Lesmo, nice and tidy through there. The second Lesmo is a little bit tighter, have to take it a little bit slower on entry, but you've got to get the exit right because we've got the Curva del Seraglio. As we now head underneath the bridge once again, there's lots of undulation on towards the Curva del Seraglio. As we now head towards Ascari, that's left to right, left. Very easy to overcommit through the entrance of Ascari there. A little bit of wheel spin there on exit out of turn 10, but now you've got plenty of time to think about how you're going to tackle this legendary right-hander, Parabolica. All the time in the world to think about your braking point. There you go, 4th gear, then quickly up to 5th for Jack to help with the wheel spin, and then it's full throttle all the way now towards that start-finish line, steering wheel as straight as you can, especially in qualifying, and Jack then 119.3 is the first lap of the day. We've got yellow flags in sector 2, and that is Warren who's out of qualifying altogether. Spike 123.4 and Recon then 119.1 for the Ferrari driver. And the Italian fans will be loving to see that, to see a Ferrari on pole as it stands. We've got Charlie there making his way towards the Parabolica corner. We've got Sean here in the other Ferrari making his way towards the start-finish line. Let's see what sort of lap time he can put down. 121.8. Alan Kay, by the way, 121.9. As you can see, top 3 at the moment. Setting their lap times on a soft tyre. Lyronics then, 121.4. And that is on the hard tyres. Who else have we got out of track? We've got Lighty making his way towards the start-finish line. P8 for him, but I doubt that was a competitive lap time. Here comes Conti towards the line then, and actually backs out of the lap time as he sets a 123.3. So on those medium tyres then, he puts himself into 7th place. So lots of drivers here just backing out of their important lap, or at least towards the start-finish line, so they don't set that time on the well, I wouldn't say the worst soft tyre, but soft tyre around here, they don't quite last that long. As we make our way now towards Parabolica, riding on board with the Gort then, last time out pole position, but then did not finish that well at the Hungarian Grand Prix. Unfortunately for the Gort, he then abandons his lap time and comes straight back into the pits. Then the Toro Rossos have been so consistent this season. It's the first time this season at the Hungarian Grand Prix that they both really didn't finish that well, to be honest with you. Of course, Troll finished down the order. He eventually finished 7th after that penalty that was applied to Henny for an incident at round 5. But then Light E did not finish the race at all. He didn't see the checker flag. That's the first time this season that either Toro Rosso have DNF'd over the course of this season so far. So that's not a stat they would have wanted next to their name. But Toro then goes P7, 121.6. Spike there on a hard tyre, 120.7. That's an incredible lap time from Spike there as he makes his way now through the Curva del Seraglio. I wonder now if he'll come back into the pit lane and maybe see what he can do there. Maybe a set of mediums could be. weighing up the options though, that's for sure. There is Straw then making his way towards curve Roger, or the Roger chicane I should say. Again, really easy to attack the left-hand curve, not so easy to attack the right-hand side curve. Very easy to unsettle the car through there. Through the Lesmo as we go. Through the second Lesmo. And then on towards that, well, it's not really a straight, that's why we call it the Curva del Serrallo. Just 11 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in qualifying. It is Recon on pole position right there, and Conti now retires from qualifying altogether now, so he will finish no higher than 11th place in qualifying. I'm just trying to see here, that's carbon fibre strewn across the right hand side of that track then. So someone's been off there. Might not necessarily have been Conti, but someone was definitely off the track. This is Shaw then making his way through Parabolica and on towards the start-finish line. But no, that was very late call there from the German to come back into the pit lane. Very, very dicey indeed. Makes his way now back in towards the pit lane. So a Ferrari on provisional pole position as it stands. We've got another Ferrari here in 5th place. 121.3 from Sean. And Sean's just trying to keep his head down and try and get some good finishes on under his belt. If we have a look at his previous results, I'm just trying to look here. So Ferrari for Sean, he's finished all the races. He's finished every race in the points so far. He's round 1 7th, and then 6th, 8th, 10th, 8th, and 6th. So logically, that scaling, we're going to be seeing a mirror here. So it's probably going to be 7th place for Sean. If the mirroring tactic works, and expect 7th place here for the Ferrari driver. Of course, he'll want to aim higher than that. He'll want to get a podium. Of course, he was looking to try and extend that podium run that he had in the Haas there from last season. Hasn't quite materialised for him in the Ferrari just yet. However, he makes his way through Parabolica, and if there's a result that you need to get under your belt, if there is a result that can really decide where you sit next season, whether it's in a Ferrari or not, it's here at Monza. No pressure then, Sean. Jack then with the DRS wide open, heading on the way towards Ascari. Again, let's run on board then with this left, right, left. As I said before, it's very easy to overcommit through the first part of Ascari, and that can really put you onto the curbs, and then track limits gets the better of you. Riding aboard with the championship leader then on towards Parabolica, braking at the 50-metre board. That's how late you can leave it. On towards the start finish straight then, let's see what the championship leader can do, and it is the first time into the 118s. It's a 118.952 from Jack then, and that now puts him on provisional pole position. Ironics then in 4th place, the reigning champ. Well, Ironics then having a look at this, where he didn't finish at Bahrain, the opening round of the season. He didn't start in round 2 at Baku, but ever since then he's been on the podium every single time. He finished 2nd at Monaco, 3rd at France, 2nd in Silverstone, and then got his first race win of the season the last time out in Hungary. If there's any chance that he can mount a late championship height there, it's now. And remember as well, he is still 2nd place in the championship, 77 points compared to Jack's 106. It's quite a big margin, that's for sure. It's 29 points. However, with 4 rounds to go, including this one, that is, of course, 4 rounds to go, it's still anybody's game. Jack can't afford to let his head drop. Meanwhile, Charlie there, 121.1 on a set of those soft tyres in the Alfa Romeo. Henny then on a set of the mediums, a set of 121.4. He's now on a set of soft tyres. See if he can get a quicker lap time out of those. The Gort currently on a 120.3. And watch out for the Mercedes as well. They're definitely not using their full potential right now. They're currently, well, Spike is out there on a lap. He's on a set of medium tyres, but he's on an out lap right now. Meanwhile, his teammate Lyronix is still out there on a set of the medium tyres. Now, we saw Lyronix do this in Hungary as well. He had a lot of laps on the hardest possible tyre. He treats this first part as the practice session. This is the race time, race simulation program, if you like. And then he's got, I think he gave himself 1 chance to try and grab pole position. He got second place. He was very close to it. Of course, he set that time on the medium tyres at Hungary. Wouldn't surprise me if he went for the mediums again, but looking at Jack and Recon, you know, they're two quick drivers. They're the drivers to beat. And it looks like they're trying to start on those soft tyres. I wonder if, because we've been following Lyronix for the whole lap, that now he'll decide to pit in. It's going to happen, isn't it? He's going to peel into the pits. We'll have been following him this whole time, and he'll dive into the pits. Yeah, I called it. I absolutely called it. Henny, meanwhile, 120.5 in the Racing Point now, puts himself up to 4th place. We've got Spike up there, currently on a set of those medium tyres, heading his way now in towards the first Lesmo, and in towards the second Lesmo as well. Reports coming in that it's supposed to be a dry race as well, so looking good then for fast running all the way to the checkered flag. Spike then underneath the banking as we now head towards the Ascari. Former champ his way now through Ascari, of course finished runner-up in the season last season. Currently 5th in the standings right now, but he's only got Traw 6 points ahead of him. Navy's 10 points ahead, so he's still in sight of making a real difference here. He rounds the final corner here and on towards that start-finish, straight towards the start-finish line. Let's see what he can do on those medium tyres. It's 3rd place, it's a 1:19.9 from the former world champion. Spike then up into 3rd place on a set of those medium tyres. Alan Kay comes back into the pits. Very, very tricky pit lane to come into. You've got to slow down as much as you can from one of the highest speeds on the track. It's not an easy one, and we're all the way down to, I believe, it's 50 miles an hour as well, so it's not a forgiving speed limiter either. Shaw making his way now through Ascari. You've got to make sure that the car's going to hang on through that section. As we now head towards Parabolica. A little bit of a fun fact, I'm actually coming to the end of my 9th season in TTL. It's an amazing 9 seasons now as Sean comes into the pits. Yeah, season 16 for me will be my 10th season commentating in TTL F1, so that is amazing. I'm glad I've been sticking around for this whole time. I'm glad that people still want me around, that's for sure. I remember the first videos were edited and I did not sound like I was pretty confident in my abilities. So it's always good to see, it's always good to look back and see how terrible I was. Jack here could benefit from the slipstream of Spike heading towards Parabolica. Spike now moves out of the way. You can see there, look at the speed now that the Red Bull has, 211 miles per hour. And for the purists of the kilometres per hour, I should probably switch it to that. However, Jack making his way, look at that. Oh, I thought he was going to make the track as short as possible, but didn't in the end. He's now come back into the pits. Lyrotics on an out lap. There is no driver on a flying lap right now, I say that, and now Charlie starts a flying lap as he makes his way now down towards the Retafidio chicane. This is going to be so tight and so hard to navigate on lap 1. You've really just got to keep your heads and wits about you in order to make your way through. This way now through that long turn 3 and on towards turns 4 and 5, of course the Roger chicane. Nice and tidy through there from Charlie, focusing on his apex and his exit speed as we now head in towards the Lesmo corners, through the first Lesmo and then coming through the second Lesmo. Nice and tidy again from Charlie as he opens the DRS, and of course he'll love me saying this, that season 14 for him, he ended the season with 0 points to his name. He's got 3 after 6 rounds so far, so progress for Charlie as we make his way through the last part of Ascari and on towards Parabolica. Looks like a pretty tidy lap from the Alfa Romeo driver. Let's see what he can do then as he makes his way towards Parabolica. Again, nice and tidy through there. You can see how smooth he is on the controls as well. Making his way towards the start-finish line. Can he improve on this 1:21.1? Yes, he can. A 1:20.6, which puts him now into 6th place. There is a battle between the two Alfa Romeos. I know they have a friendly rivalry. And currently, Charlie is winning that one. At least if you look at the leaderboards, he is. Charlie's 3 points compared to Alan Kay's score 0 right now. But I've been hearing there's been a little bit of development with Alan Kay. He's looking to try and get back on the pace. He's been running on the cusp of those points right now. And if he can get a good result here, that will definitely put him in the right frame of mind for the last 3 rounds of the season. Lyronix on, I thought he was on a flying lap, but he's not. He's gone quicker though, 119.8. And that puts him just ahead of his teammate by just under 1/10 of a second. We now head into the last 2 minutes. In fact, we've got 1 minute and 40 seconds. There we go, as the timer ticks down. So we have 100 seconds left, basically, of qualifying before the checkered flag comes out. We've got Lyronix there, who is probably looking to try and save some ERS and go for one more lap. We've got Graham, who's on a flying lap right now, also yet to score a point this season, as he makes his way through the first Lesmo, coming towards now the second Lesmo, keeping it nice and tidy once again. Let's see now he makes his way towards the Curva del Seraglio, but actually he's not going full throttle and not opening his DRS either. So he's not committing to this lap, at least. The Gort's now up into 5th place, but now he's on a flying lap, looking to try and get into the 119s. If he does, he'll be able to try and sneak his way onto the second row of the grid. His teammate currently occupies that first place spot as we head through the first Lesmo with the Gort. Of course, once again, pole position last time out at Hungary. First pole position of the season for him. Enters the DRS zone, on towards the Curva del Seraglio, and then on towards Ascari. Let's have a look at this from the swingman, if you like. Left, right, then left. Very easy to get yourself that track limit warning. Very easy to penalise yourself through there, as he now makes his way on towards Parabolica. A handful of seconds to go then, as the Gort will make his way towards Parabolica. Nice and tidy once again as Jack retires from the session. Here comes the Gort then towards the start-finish line. Can he improve? Can he get into the 119s? No, he can't. It's a 120.2 for the Gort. And I think he just about beat the checkered flag. Meanwhile, Recon then has beaten the checkered flag. He's on a 119.1. This is his chance to put a Ferrari on pole position in front of the Tifosi. Let's see what he can do then, as he makes his way through the Roger chicane. A little bit of a tip trip in the gravel then, in towards the... I don't know if he's actually invalidated his lap here, because it's come out as an out lap. However, he's still going for it here, in towards the DRS zone. You can see there, he's trying to make the track as straight as possible. There's a car over to the left-hand side, and that is Traw there, who's currently in 6th place, so he won't improve on his lap time. Then riding on board with the Ferrari driver through Ascari there, nice and tidy from the Ferrari driver, as he makes his way now towards Parabolica. Can he try and grab himself pole position? Can he grab pole position from under the nose of the Red Bull and put a Ferrari on pole position right in front of the Tifosi? Can he try and do it? He's making the car as straight as possible. Recon, he's done it! A 118.8, and he's taken pole position in the Italian Grand Prix right in front of the Tifosi. He will be absolutely thrilled with that one. That looked a really, really good lap. 118.8 from the Ferrari driver. We see the Gort then come back into the pit, so no more lap times to be posted here in qualifying, and that means then Recon is on pole position in front of the home crowd of Ferrari, and that was a great lap time. That is his 3rd pole position of the season, grabbing pole positions at the first round of the season in Bahrain and also at the Monaco Grand Prix as well. So a great lap time then from Recon, and puts himself onto that lovely pole position. It's going to be Jack in 2nd place, the Mercedes lockout, the 2nd row. Lyronix in 3rd with Spike in 4th place. But we'll get to the full standings in just a second, because that man there, the Dutchman in the Ferrari, Recon's on pole position for the Italian Grand Prix. And there is the full results then of qualifying, beating Jack by just under 0.08 of a second. But Recon is on pole position in a Ferrari in Italy. You can't write this stuff. Jack is in 2nd place then with Lyronic's third. Spike is in fourth place with Lagort in fifth. Traw sixth with Heddy in seventh. Graham in eighth. Charlie in ninth. And Sean rounds off the top 10. It's Alan Kay in 11th. Lighty in 12th. Conti in 13th place. Mays and Warren didn't set a time during that session, although I think Warren had an off-track excursion and Mays didn't leave the pit lane during that qualifying session, so he'll start down in 14th place. So then, let's have your predictions for this Italian Grand Prix. Can Lyronics take it home for a win in front of the Tifosi? If there's a win you want to get in the season, it's going to be here. He's had one race win this season so far. That was at round 1 at Bahrain. So he'll be looking now to make it win number 2 here in Italy in front of the home crowd. They'll be expecting now Sean down in 10th place. So hopefully he'll be able to get his way up the order. But what's interesting as well is that the Mercedes are starting on the medium tyres from the second row of the grid. And they are just about over a second off the pace there. Of course, it's unfair to say off the pace because they're on the medium tyres. The delta is around about, from what I remember, it's around about 7-8 tenths of a second. But then again, these soft tyres, obviously, they are the most abrasive compound here today, but they also wear out the quickest as well. So Recon then will lead the field down towards turn 1, and it is such a close encounter down towards turn 1 there. You see the runoff area just ahead. If you fancy it, if you don't fancy taking turns 1 and 2 there, I mean, it's not a bad option, but if you take it too quickly, you risk giving yourself a slap on the wrist with a 10-second time penalty awarded by the in-game steward. So if you want to go and risk for it, be my guest, but yeah, I'd rather you than me, that's for sure. Make sure you're following the league on Twitter as well. It's at TTL_F1, and if you really want to, you can follow me whilst you're there as well. It's at KSMCGF1. So Recon's on pole position, soft tyres strapped to his car. Jack is in second place, also on the soft tyres. Lyronics and Spike in third and fourth. They're both on the medium tyres. The Gort in fifth place on his trusty soft tyres. Draw is in sixth then on the medium tyres. Kenny and Graham, the Racing Points then, lock out row 4, both on the soft tyres. Charlie in ninth place, also on the soft tyres. Sean in 10th place on those medium tyres, and then it's Alan Kay in 11th, Lighty 12th, Conti in 13th, Mays 14th, and Warren in 15th place. All those outside of the top 10 are starting on the medium tyre. If you're starting on the medium tyre, well, looks like you'll be going to just under half distance and then strapping on a set of hard tyres for the end of the race. If you're on the soft tyre, you're looking to pit early. I would say around about anywhere between laps 6 and 9 is a good window to pit in from the soft tyres, then put on a set of hards for the end of the race. But then again, what do I know? I'm up in the commentary box for one good reason. So then, 27 laps await us here in Italy. And with a Ferrari on pole, the Tifosi will be going absolutely mad before the race has even started. But can Recon hold his ground to try and get his second race win of the season? We're about to find out then. The Italian Grand Prix is moments away then, as we're getting ready for the 7th round here in TTL F1. What are the nerves like of Recon, I wonder? A Ferrari on pole position. I haven't said it enough. I've got to say it one more time. The Tifosi will be expecting then, as we will wait these lights for the signal to start the race then. Here we are. It is 5 red lights. Round 7 is underway, and what are the starts like? It's not a great start for Lyronics. I think the quick right change caught him off guard, but Recon has got a great start down towards the Retifidio chicane. Now watch his mirrors then, watch out behind, as there's a little bit of a tap then from Draw on the back of Spike, but Spike jumps his teammate Lyronics down. Now does he all make it through that first couple of corners? Mays, by the way, is up to 12th place. He's just gone past Lighty then and trying to head his way up towards 11th place. He has to go around the outside of the Curva Grande, but they've all made it through. Lighty holding on then to 11th place as Mays backs out of the move then. The two McLarens here. Oh, Warren has to go straight on at the Roger chicane. Of course, you have to get across the yellow bits of tarmac there. We've got a car off in sector 2. I'm not sure what that was. I think that was just Warren there who was taking the escape road. That's the exact escape road you have to take. Meanwhile, Recon and Jack are battling for the lead of the race then as we head towards Ascari. The two McLarens then 14th and 15th, not the start they wanted at all. As Recon there gets a little bit onto the curb there on the exit of Ascari. And look at this, Jack has a great run up towards Parabolica. Is he going to try and move? No, he turns down the ERS there and looks for a move down the start-finish straight. You'll see him now turn up the ERS really, yeah, all the way to hot lap mode then swiftly down to overtake as he looks to try and get into that slipstream. Mays has left the session, so that's unfortunate. He had a great start, and now he'll be trying to get back into the session. And Jack closing on the Ferrari as we head towards the Retafidio chicane. He looks for a move up the inside then, and the Red Bull looks like he's taken the lead. He'll park it on the apex here, and the championship leader moves back up into the lead of the race. It is Spike then in third, Lyronix fourth, Traw up to fifth with the Gort in sixth, Graham in seventh, Sean in eighth, Henny in ninth, and Lighty rounds out the top 10. And the lead is still being contested here as we head down towards the Roger chicane. Jack there holding on then to the lead of the race. Recon then down to second place. It's a good start from Spike as well. He is now up to third place. Alan Kay then on the set of the medium tyres, now running in 13th place. He gets ahead of the ghost car of Mays, and unfortunately for Mays, he's going to rejoin here. It's currently a ghost car, and he'll rejoin as a solid car any moment now, but he will be down the order. Meanwhile, Sean is in trouble there. That's on the exit of the second Lesmo. And he's caught, I reckon he's caught the curve on the left-hand side and gone straight into the wall on the right-hand side, spun up the tyres, and that was that. So Sean, in the Ferrari here, has lost a good chunk of that front wing. That is not going to help him at all then, as we're only in the very early stages of this race as well. So we'll have to look back to the pit lane and see what the team will want to do. Meanwhile, the Gort then trying to close in on Traw ahead of him, currently running in 6th place. Crosses that start finish line. Meanwhile, Lyronix here is looking to try and get, or at least try and find a way past Spike ahead of him. He did not get a great start. It was a quick light change. It's quicker than normal. As Warren here looking for a move up the inside at Charlie, then in towards the Retafidio chicane, and Warren now finds himself up into the points. 10th place for Warren. His next target will now be Lighty. Sean makes his way back to the pit lane, presumably to fit a new front wing. Recon then 6/10 down on championship leader Jack then. And so we make our way through the second Lesmo and on towards the Curva del Serrano. Here is Graham and Henny meanwhile, the two racing point cars. They could be battling for positions soon. Henny now in the slipstream. He's got DRS on the run down towards Ascari here. I wonder if there's going to be team orders. Well, Henny is looking for a move up the inside, then in towards Ascari. Up the inside he goes. Has he overcooked it? Yes, slightly. And Henny finds his way back through, holding on for dear life through there. Meanwhile, though, Henny has got to try and find a move, and Lighty's out of the session then. He's out of the race. We just saw out the corner of the stream there that he's lost it completely. And also, that's Charlie caught up in it as well. Going through there, I think he might have been collected by the wayward car of Lighty and is now way down the order. Meanwhile, Warren here is looking for a move on Graham. Look at this then with the slipstream and the DRS. Even with the DRS open, he's now trying to catch up to Henny then. He at least moves up to 8th place. Graham here looking to try and fill that McLaren mirror with a little bit of pink there as we now make our way through towards turn 3. Meanwhile then, Recon has got back ahead of Jack then in towards the Roger chicane. So Recon now leads once again here in Italy. So Lighty retiring then. That's just off the exit of turn 10. Oh, that's Spike around and into the wall. No, just about kept it out there, but he lost it on entrance in towards the chicane, into the Lesmo there. Then tried to pull away, then clattered into the wall. And that is right-hand wing damage then for Spike. And he'll looking to come back into the pit lane. Meanwhile then, Jack is now under pressure from Lyronix here. So Jack has made an error somewhere out on circuit. And now he's being reeled in by Lyronix. Lyronix, of course, will have the DRS moving down towards the first corner there. And it looks like he'll try and keep it that way as well. Running the ball now with the German. And of course, these are two championship rivals here. Jack cannot afford to lose this much time to Lyronix. Lyronix has the DRS then, and is able to keep with Jack at least down start finish straight. Running the ball then with Warren as he looks to try and take away 6th place from Jeffrey Henny down towards turn 1 here. And that looks like a pretty simple enough move for Warren. He moves ahead with the DRS. Conti meanwhile makes a move past Alan Kay. Can he get the car slowed down in time? Yes, he can. down into turn 1, makes the move stick, and now Conti up to 9th place. Alan Kay currently inside the points. And you see there's Spike with that damaged front wing. Well, Monza is a track about speed, not so much the aerodynamics. You don't need too many places at this track. However, he's going to find it pretty tough, especially on those medium tyres. I wonder if it's the right decision staying out on the medium tyres. Again, I'm in the commentary box for a reason, but I don't know. It's going to be a tough one for Spike to keep that pace up. Of course, with the less aero that he has on the front wing, he's having to work the tyres more. Therefore, he'll probably wear out those front tyres quicker than he expects. But lap 5 here in Monza, soon to be lap 6. It is Recon who leads from Jack in 2nd. Lyronix is running in 3rd place. Shaw is in 4th place with the Court in 5th. Warren is in 6th with Penny in 7th. Graham in 8th with Conti in 9th. Alan Kay rounding out the top 10. It's Spike in 11th. Changed my mind there, correct that one. It's now Mays up into 11th place after he gets a move past Spike. Then so Spike down to 12th place. Sean is now in 13th with Charlie running in 14th place. Bit of an unfortunate incident there for Charlie. He got caught up with, I believe it was Light E on the exit of turn 10. Just had nowhere to go, collected the car, and that was the front wing damage that Charlie did not want to have. So he's been back into the pits, puts on a fresh set of soft tyres. So he'll be looking now to get those tyres to the end, well, not to the end of the race, but he'll have at least one more stop for Charlie. Lyronix then in 3rd place right now, in towards the 2nd Lesmo. Still right on the back of Jack here. This is the exact reason Jack didn't want to lose that much time to the German behind him, is because these soft tyres are now going to reach the point where the medium tyres are actually the better race tyre to be on in terms of wear. Through the last part of Ascari we go, and you see there Lyronix has that slipstream in the distance there, heading towards Parabolica. Throwing the car in there into turn 11, and again he'll have some DRS here on the exit of Parabolica. This is going to be a crucial move. Currently the gap between them is quite it's a distance, it's 29 points, but these two are still going to be battling no matter what. Then Lyronix is just happy enough to use that DRS to close in on Jack, but not overtake him. He knows that he won't have the grip through the corners, but in the straight line with the DRS he'll be able to stay on the back of that Red Bull and just put him under some pressure then. That's the closest battle on track we have right now. 21 laps to go. Ferrari leading the way then from a Red Bull, from a Mercedes, from a Toro Rosso. It's not often you get to say that. And of course we have had the rare error from Spike then in the first Lesmo. Back end just got away from him. And he managed to keep it out of the wall, then reversed, and as he was full lock left, steered into the wall on the right hand side. That's what gave him the front wing damage. I think he'll be annoyed at that the most. Right, still putting pressure on that Red Bull ahead of him. As we head through turn 10, Jack running very wide on the exit of turn 10 there. It can be risky, especially if you're full throttle and turning at the same time. The back end can protest about that one. Here we go then, on towards the start finish straight as Jack thinks about coming into the pits, now thinks about breaking the slipstream between himself and Lyronix here. The Mercedes, once again, we'll probably see he's just happy enough to stay in the slipstream and stay behind Jack right now. He didn't have much of an option that time around, he was a bit further back. But looking at it, Lyronix is looking to try and get past Jack. Of course, this is championship implications right here, because we have the leader of the championship in 2nd place, Lyronix, the 2nd place in the championship in 3rd. So for Lyronix, he wants to try and get this move done. 3 points is still 3 points gained on Jack here, so he'll be in that position. As it stands though, the gap between the two of them will go to 32 points with 3 races to go. Lyronix has to try and find a way past. He's gone for the medium stint, which I'm informed by a strategist that it looks like we're steer clear of the hard tyres today. Looks like it's going to be soft to mediums or mediums to softs. So if that's the case, Lyronix has a soft stint coming up. We'll have to wait and see what he can do with these tyres. As you can see there, Jack has much more grip through Parabolica, even with those warm tyres. Still able to have that grip there, and that is Lyronix without DRS, so he's managed there, has Jack to get out of DRS range. Meanwhile, here's the driver, Warren, looking to try and make up some ground, crashed out of qualifying, or so I'm led to believe. Currently running in 6th place right now. And for Warren, we have shown, or we have seen, early signs of promise early on in his TTL F1 career. In fact, last season, he almost went to win the race at Austria, but made a mistake late on in the race, and that is what cost him a chance of a glory win there. If we have a look at Warren's finishes so far, well, he didn't finish both rounds, or both opening rounds, at Bahrain and Azerbaijan. He wasn't here for Monaco, and since then he got 2nd place at France, 4th place at Silverstone, and then 5th place at Hungary. So 1 podium for him this season. He'll be looking to try and close in as much as he possibly can and try and make the best out of a situation that may not have benefited him too well at this point. We know the potential is there from Warren, and McLaren have seen that potential. Look at this then, as he closes right up to the back of the court then, as we head towards Parabolica with the slipstream then. Is he going to try and move then up the inside at Parabolica? The McLaren trying to go up the inside of the Red Bull as we head towards turn 11, and he's got the move done. But who will have the DRS then down the start-finish straight, I wonder, as we make our way there now. And I think it is going to be the Gort then. So the Gort has DRS. Let's see what he can do. Alan Kay, meanwhile, moves up to 9th place, getting away past Graham. And here comes the Gort. Will he try and move in towards the Rettifilio chicane? No, he won't. He'll stay back there. And oh, Alan Kay's in trouble. That's a Parabolica. Has he lost the back end there, I wonder? Well, he's lost a huge chunk of front wing, and he was running in the points as Graham comes into the pits as well. Now, they were battling. I wonder if they've come together. Yeah, I think they have, you know. I think they have come together, because Graham's lost a bit of front wing, so has Alan Kay. So not great news at all. And the Racing Point crew try and time that to perfection, which they do. But yeah, both drivers need a front wing change. That puts Spike back up into the points. Huge restraint for both drivers. They're looking like they're having a good race there. Lyronix once again. Oh, Jack has a moment out of turn 10, and that could be Lyronix's chance to try and snatch the position away, which he does. But that will give Jack the DRS then down towards the Rettifilio chicane. Through turn 11 we go, and I wonder now when we're going to start to see those cars come into the pits then, and I think we're going to see it now. In fact, we do. Recon and Jack both into the pits then. Recon from the lead of the race. That means Lyronix will take over the baton as leader of the race then on those medium tyres. Sean picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I assume that is for track limits. Recon then making his way down the pit lane. There goes Henny. Where is Conti? I think Recon is going to rejoin ahead. No, he's not there. Gap looked a little bit bigger then on the screen than I thought. But sure, Recon then rejoins in 7th place. So he's the first of the pit stops so far. And he'll rejoin as the leader of the pit stops. Oh, Conti's had a little bit of a moment there, coming out of turn 2. And that has let Recon and Jack through. I don't know whether he had a little bit of a moment there or not, but he went onto the grass. He wouldn't intentionally go onto the grass like that. Lyronix then is your leader of the race, but he is yet to stop then, and he'll be looking to try and use this as the point to start pushing. I won't say it's hammer time. Maybe it's screwdriver time. I don't know. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it, does it? But Troll there is in 2nd place. He's 5.5 seconds back from Lyronix. Warren is now up into 3rd place. But of course, these drivers all have to still make their mandatory pit stop. The Gort is in 4th. Henny is up in 5th place right now, with Recon in 6th. He is trying to quickly close in on Henny ahead of him. We head on to lap number 12 then. There is your race leader. The Gort then comes into the pits from 4th place. On will go what I assume will be a set of the medium tyres. Spike now gets a 3-second time penalty for not speeding in the pit lane. He gets 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so that is for track limits. There goes Conti. There goes Mays there, up into 7th place. That was Henny, who I believe had to serve a 5-second stop go, was that? I'm not entirely sure. However, he rejoins then and out emerges into 9th place. But there is Spike in the distance there, running in 10th place. He'll be looking to try and take as many points as possible from this race. So pretty much all the drivers now are on medium tyres as it stands at the moment, apart from Sean, Charlie and Alan Kay. They are on hards, softs and hards respectively as we head towards that halfway point in the race. It is lap 12, soon to be lap 13. Jack is closing in here on the back of Recon. Charlie's just got a 5-second penalty there for corner cutting. That's not a 5-second stop-go penalty, that's a 5-second penalty, so that will be added to the end of his race there. Obviously there's that end of race time. So I wonder where he could have gone off there. That might be at the Retifilio. That's the only place I can think of now that he would have got that penalty for. Maybe he ran too deep into turn 1 there, decided to take the escape road, but if you take it too quickly, the game slaps you on the wrist with that penalty, so that's what you've got to be so careful of. But Lyronic's still leading the way here. Troy's in second, 5.8 behind the race leader. There is Warren in 3rd place, Recon running in 4th, but Jack in 5th there is looking to try and put some pressure on the Ferrari ahead of him, and looking to try and make that pressure as much as possible here. There is Conti there in 6th place, making his debut this season. Not doing too badly there, 6th place, considering his teammate running in 3rd right now. Yellow flags in sector 3, and Charlie's now out of the race. Now, where is that? That's just before Parabolica, or maybe at Parabolica. I was trying to see with the view of Alan Kay there, but Charlie now retires from the race. And that is his first DNF of the season, so such a shame for Charlie to end the Italian Grand Prix like that. Warren 2 seconds back from Troy now. And as we make our way now on towards that start-finish straight, lap 14. So we're pretty much halfway through the race then. It is Lyronix who leads, but is yet to stop in this one. So we'll have to see where he emerges. Now, let's have a look at the gaps to the leader. There you can see Recon 17.7 behind Lyronix. Jack 19.1 behind. Now, to me, they'll both rejoin ahead of Lyronix. However, Lyronix will have the soft tyre towards the end of this race. He's got to use that tyre wisely though. Fastest lap of the race so far, well, it's a 1:22.4, but expect that to go down as we head towards some of these drivers' soft tyre stints. That currently is held by Spike, and as he is in the top 10 right now, he would qualify to take that fastest lap of the race bonus point. So, still leading then, 1.6 now. This is Warren trying to chase down Shaw, and again, 1.6 is the gap right now. Oh, a little bit of a tail happy moment there through turn 10 for Warren, as he makes his way now on towards Parabolica. So, Lyronix then into the pits he comes then, so the German's in, as he makes his way down the pit lane, and so Troy will now inherit the race lead. There is the Mercedes into the pits then. So where is Recon? Recon's making his way around Parabolica, so he will get easily ahead of Recon, of Lyronix there. Trying to get my name straight there, as Lyronix now goes down to 5th place. He now leaves the pit lane. There's Conti though on a set of those medium tyres. The Mercedes then rejoins ahead, and well ahead as well. So Lyronix now decides now's the time for the soft tyre. 5.6 behind Jack. I wonder here if he can do it. Can he try and grab a race win, or at least try and get ahead of Jack? Lap number 15, Warren is really closing in to the back of Troy here as we make our way on towards the curve at Del Seraglio. Then down towards Ascari. We've got a battle for 7th place here. Mays battling away with the Gore then as they make their way now down towards the Roger chicane. Nice and tidy through there from the Gore, going up through the gears to try and minimise the wheel spin. Through the first Lesmo, then through the second shortly afterwards. You can see there the Gore is trying to battle with Mays. Mays has been on these tyres since the start of the race. Gort is on fresher medium tyres, 3-lap old to be exact. He's got the DRS. Mays moves to the left-hand side. I don't think he's going to make too much of a fight out of that, which he doesn't. And so the Gort then moves up into 7th place. Traw and Warren both into the pits then. And that means Recon then, in front of his home crowd, or at least the team's home crowd, will retake the lead of the Italian Grand Prix on lap number 16 with 12 laps to go. Ferrari leads then from Red Bull of Jack. Lyronics now goes up into 3rd place. Let's see where Traw and Warren rejoin. There is Conti there, and he'll rejoin. Oh, that's going to be close between the Toro Rosso and the McLaren. Then down towards turn 1. Traw has he had the inside line. They made contact there, and they're going side by side out of turn 2. Conti backs out of it though, and looks like here he'll hand over that position to his teammate as well. Very dicey moment there between Traw and Conti, but they both made it through the first couple of corners there without a scratch to their car. Just about, anyway. So Warren now will be more than motivated to try and catch Traw. He's only 4/10 back now. And have a look at this gap then. Lyronics 3.5 seconds back from Jack. He's trying to close in on that gap as best as he can, but he's got to be careful not to burn out these soft tyres at the beginning of this stint. Must be nice and smooth on the controls and make sure he's got those tyre temperatures under control. Meanwhile then, Warren trying to fight away with Traw. We've got yellow flags somewhere in sector 1. Not quite sure who it is, but whatever it was, the incident has been cleared and we're back under green flag racing across all parts of the track. Then Lyronics, fastest lap of the race, 1:21.9 from the Mercedes driver. As this is Warren here with some DRS, looking at the back of Traw then. DRS wide open now as he looks towards the inside line. 19 miles an hour then as he makes his way now down towards that Rettifilo chicane. And the McLaren then takes away 4th place from Traw. Meanwhile then, Henny moves up to 8th, Spike up to 9th as Mays comes into the pits for his stop. So Spike here, I don't know if he's going to make those medium tyres last to the end of the race. It's going to be nip and tuck. I think he might try a soft tyre stint at the end of this race to try and go for the fast lap of the race. Warren runs into the gravel a little bit, then onto the grass. That's going to invite Traw to have a little bit of a go once again. It'll encourage him to stay with it, to stay in the action actually. Recon picks up a 3-second time penalty, as does Jack, so they both neutralise each other there, and that was through Ascari. And again, it's very, very easy to pick up a penalty through there. So they've both got 3-second time penalties, as far as my understanding is. So they're both cancelling each other out. Lyronics, though, I'm not sure about Lyronics. I'm not really sure, and because I'm the only one in the stream, I can't really check the penalties. Meanwhile, Spike then moves ahead of Henny then just before Ascari, and now up into 8th place he goes. Now 6.8 behind the Gort. That's going to be a tough gap to try and break down, but not for the one for trying, you Spike. Traw then with some DRS looking to try and stay behind that McLaren, but you saw there, I mean, Traw peaked at 215 miles an hour. You had the McLaren going up to 219 miles an hour with the DRS there, so that was huge. Meanwhile, Spike is in. I think this then is going to be some soft tyres to the end of the race for the Mercedes driver. And he comes, and the team get to work, and they do get to work on the car, as your eyes are deceiving you. 10 laps to go then, the Ferrari driver of Recon leads, but Jack is just slowly being reeled in by the Mercedes driver of Lyronics, and that's going to be crucial for the championship as well. Traw then turning up the ERS, opening up the DRS, and making his way now down towards Ascari. No move to be had there though. Meanwhile, riding aboard with Sean then, through the Curva Grande, and looking for a move past Graham. He'll have to go around the outside. It will then be the inside for the Roger chicane as we go hard braking then down into the left-hander, and Graham simply has nowhere to go, and Sean then moves ahead and up into the points. Meanwhile then Spike looking for that move. Meanwhile then Lyronics has got the move on Jack then, down the start finish straight, and Lyronics now moves up into 2nd place. Next target is Recon. He's got 3.6 seconds to try and cut down in 9 laps. Let's see what happens. Meanwhile, Traw right on the back of that McLaren. Spike, meanwhile, has moved ahead of Graham. And now now will try and chase down Sean for that last points paying position of the race. And Sean there is on the hard tyre, Spike is on the soft tyre, 2 compound different, or at least 2 C's different. So you would think that Spike has the advantage there, especially on brand new soft tyres. Riding aboard with Troy as we head through the second Lesmo. We quickly cut away and see Jack making his way now down towards Ascari. Left, right, left. Through there, as you can see there, Lyronics takes a big chunk out of that gap to the leader. The gap is now 3.2 seconds. Warren picks up a 3-second time penalty. That was going through the Ascari chicane, and now that's Sean off in big style. That's at Curva Grande. Now, what on earth happened there that caused that? Did he lose it on his own? Because he's off in a big way at Curva Grande. There he is. Yeah, that's huge then for Sean. So the Ferrari, one of the Ferraris, now out of the race entirely. Meanwhile, Troy putting pressure on Warren ahead of him. Not quite anything done there though. 2.8 now the gap between Recon and Lyronics. As it stands then in the championship, the gap between Lyronics and Jack will come down to 26 points. In fact, let me check something for you. In fact, it might come down to 20. No, it is 26 because Warren has the fastest lap of the race so far. The gap between Recon and Lyronics comes down to 2.7 seconds. It's going to be very close between the two of them. It all really depends if Lyronics has a penalty, which I'm not sure. I can't say whether he does or he doesn't. Sure, then it's trying to keep on the back of Warren. Meanwhile, Jack's not doing a bad job at keeping on the back of Lyronics here. He's keeping on the back of Lyronics just enough that if there's a little bit of a moment from the German in the Mercedes, then Jack is going to try and take full advantage. There we are then, 7 laps to go now. Recon still leading, 3.1 the gap is, and the gap's actually gone up between the two of them. And Recon here will just be trying to round out what could be his second race win of the season. As well as that, a home win for Ferrari will have been high up on their wish list right now. Having a look at the constructor standings, well, it is Mercedes on top. I mean, Ferrari are 4 as it stands right now with 82 points. They've only got Toro Rosso on 85 ahead of them for third. A race win here will do them the world of good, as now Lyronics picks up a 3-second time penalty. So that's that advantage gone then, or possible advantage. So the top 3 all have 3-second time penalties, at least. That's at least. So not for definite. I know they've been awarded at least 1 penalty of 3 seconds. So we'll have to see how that all pans out. But Jack is still really close to the back of Lyronics here. Very close, in fact. Heading on towards Parabolica now. As we see, just seeing now if Jack can try and move down the start finish straight. But he looks a little too far back for my liking, and also he's not got a lot of ERS to deploy. And we'll have to do a little bit of saving there, down towards the Rettifilio chicane. Lyronics 2.7 seconds back. He has, I believe, that's 6 laps to go. Yes, it is 6 laps to go. To try and close that gap down, it's 2.5 seconds right now. Meanwhile, Troy has done really well to keep onto the back of Warren here. As we fly through the Curva Grande, Alan Kay picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. He's currently running in 12th place right now. So also of Troy looking to try and keep his head down and keep going with it. Lighty, by the way, has back-to-back DNFs, not something he would have wanted. Charlie with his first retirement of the season, and Sean there out at Curva Grande, reasons unknown. He is out of this race. Having a look at some of the standings then, well, I can tell you right now that that was Sean's first retirement of the season going into this race. So not great a day for him at the office. Lyronics then, still in second place, looking to try and extend the gap to Jack behind him. And again try and get those valuable 3 points advantage heading towards the next round of the championship. Of course, after this round of Italy, we have the round at Russia. But look at this, Jack here is right on the back of Lyronix. Even on those medium tyres, he's still putting up a fight here, as Lyronix is struggling now. He was struggling heading in towards the Rettifilo chicane. He's now dropped 3 seconds behind Recon here, and Lyronix will now trying to hold on for whatever he can now. Attack for Lyronix has swiftly transitioned to defence as Jack gets a little bit sideways there through the first Lesmo. That'll lose him a little bit of time, but not so much that he loses DRS altogether. Heading now on towards Ascari chicane. Turning the car in and hoping it sticks. Hoping you don't come out the other side with a penalty. As Recon here winds down the laps, he'll be looking to try and keep his eyes focused and keep himself focused on what will be a stunning win here in Italy. As now we ride aboard with Jack, they're making his way around the final corner and on towards the start-finish straight. We have 4 laps to go then here in Italy. And Jack is quickly trying to reel in Lyronix ahead of him down towards turn 1, but he backs out of it, turns down the ERS. Meanwhile, Traw then makes a move then on Warren and takes away 4th place there. And Warren moves back down to 5th place as Traw there was holding on there to the rear wing of Warren for the past couple of laps. And he's now backed himself that 4th place spot, but Warren is far from done with that one. Jack here still keeping Lyronix for close company then as we head through the first Lesmo. Again, a little bit of a tail happy moment there from the Red Bull in towards the second Lesmo. DRS wide open for Jack then as we head our way down towards the Ascari chicane. Again, building up the speed there through Ascari now, through the left, right and then left. It's all just about keeping it together now, keeping your head cool in these situations. As it stands though, Lyronix will close that gap to the championship leader Jack, right behind him to 26 points. This is why it's so crucial here that Lyronix finishes ahead of Jack, but Jack will have other ideas. 3 laps to go then here in Monza. And you can see that Jack is doing a little bit of ERS saving here. He's not using any ERS at all down the start-finish straight, but he still managed to close in on Lyronix ahead of him. So he's really trying to save up that ERS for the end of the race. Meanwhile then, Warren right on the back of Traw then wasn't close enough to try and move in towards the Rettifilo chicane, but certainly close enough to think about it. We did see him try a move down the inside, wasn't happening there. Swipe picks up a 3-second time penalty. As it stands then, Warren, we're riding on board with, has the fastest lap of the race. It's a 1:21.5, and at the moment he'll be walking away with that fastest lap bonus point that we see drivers fight for, especially when they've not had a great day. They're running down the order, further down the order than they'd like, but it still gives them something to fight for in the closing stages. Warren still right on the back of Traw then. We can see then him gaining down towards Ascari, but there you see Warren turns down the ERS and actually does a little bit of lift and coast in towards Ascari. He doesn't want to make the move there. He'd rather make it down the start finish straight in towards Parabolica we go then. And once again Jack has to put Lyronix under a bit of pressure. A little bit of wheel spin out of turn 11 from Jack. But look at this now, he's got a great run on Lyronix down towards the Rettifilo chicane. DRS wide open, and that looks like a move then for second place, which it is. Jack takes away second place from Lyronix in the Mercedes, but now it is crunch time. When does Lyronix make the move? Well, look at this. He got a better exit out of turn 2 there. Tried to make it work, but couldn't quite do it. Jack there has made the move stick for second place. Lyronix will want that position back, that's absolutely sure. But all these two battling means Recon is extending that gap and is actually able to keep a comfortable gap over them as well. Lyronix has got to keep his cool in these situations now. clipped the grass on entry there, and he actually ran a little bit wide. There you saw Jack there get a little bit of a tank slapper out of Lesmo too. But you see there, Lyronix is dropping back. Spike is into the pit lane, by the way. I wonder if he's timed that right. He's going to find it very fine, very close then, to try and stay on the lead lap towards the end of this one. But he's definitely going for that fastest lap of the race bonus point. He says, I'll throw everything but the kitchen sink at him. Oh, you know what? Why not? Why not the kitchen sink as well? There you can see Spike is in the pit lane. I don't think he's timed this quite right. Actually, he's just remerged. There you can see a little bit of a speck right in front of you, but that is Recon now, who has started the final lap here in Monza with Jack in second. There is Lyronix in third. Warren is in fourth. That battle for fourth place is far from over. As you see there, Troll is gaining on the McLaren ahead of him down towards the Rettifilia chicane. The Toro Rosso doesn't try it this time around, but we have seen some great racing all across the field here tonight. Absolutely great to see. Spike there currently outside of the top 10. That is something he didn't want, but meanwhile Troll through Curva Grande, up the inside he goes, and he takes the position away. Fourth place is the Toro Rossos for now, as they head in towards the Roger chicane. Troll, the optimist there, gets that position done. Spike now moves up into 10th place. He'll be trying to warm himself up now for his do or die lap, to try and get himself that fastest lap of the race bonus point then. As we now make our way on towards the back straight then, on towards Parabolica. It's something that Monza's been waiting to see. Recon making his way now towards the Parabolica and towards the start-finish line. Recon is about to take his second race win of the season and a win in front of the Tifosi. A dream win for Ferrari and a dream win for Recon. He gets the race win there, and Lyronix finishes in second place. Jack had penalties there. Troll trying to get this track as short as possible, and he does. Fourth place for Troll, fifth place for Warren there. Great battle between the two of them, and Troll came out on top. The Gort then is in sixth place right now. A little bit of a lonely race for him in this one, but sixth place is a good result for him as he makes his way now through the Parabolica. Henny as well in seventh place. And disregarding any penalties, let's have a look. And the Gort, yeah, he does finish in sixth place there. Henny makes his way now towards the start-finish line to claim seventh place there for the Racing Point car. Conti then finishes in eighth place. There is Mays then in ninth place. Spike's not too far behind. He'll be wanting to try and get the fastest lap of the race then, as they make their way towards Parabolica for the final time then. Spike will be getting 1 point at least in this one. Can he try and make it two then? Mays will more than likely finish in ninth place with Spike rounding out the top 10. Let's see if he got it. Yes, he did get it. Spike then got the fastest lap and the extra bonus point. But it's a win for Ferrari, for the Tifosi, and Recon with his second of the season. Not often you get the chance to race in a Ferrari and take the race win. And I think Recon will be relishing that moment right now. He wins the Italian Grand Prix. And so for Recon, that's a first race win since the opening round at Bahrain. So he'll be mightily impressed with that one and takes the race win. So here are your official, unofficial results. Recon then wins the race from Lyronix in second, Jack in third, with Troll finishing in fourth. Warren, great drive, 15th to 5th from Warren there, and a story of what might have been for Warren in this race. The Gort in 6th with Henny in 7th, Conti on his debut in 8th place, Mays in 9th, and Spike rounds out the top 10. He also did get the final fastest lap of the race bonus points. He actually walks away with 2 points for finishing in 10th place there. Graham in 11th place, Alan Kay in 12th, Sean, Charlie and Lighty all did not finish the race. And wow, what a story then for Recon. The last time he finished on the podium, if I have a look at the past results for Ferrari, was at the British Grand Prix. He didn't turn up for Hungary, unfortunately. However, a win today will be right up on his wish list. As well as that, Lyronix has cut the gap down to Jack. The gap was 29 points. It now comes down to 26 points with 3 races to go. Might be just over a race win in it, but anything can happen. A retirement can change this championship on its head. Unfortunately, no commentator's corner tonight because I think I can feel my voice going, and without Andy here, it's tougher to manage a voice on solo. But the next race will be at the Russian Grand Prix, so hopefully you'll join me for that one. It will, of course, be at 8 PM GMT. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell so you're notified every time the channel goes live. Then it's next live tomorrow night for TTFL, I believe, with Malk, so make sure you join him for that one as well. In the meantime, though, make sure you follow the league on Twitter. It's at TTL_F1, and if you really want to, you can follow me whilst you're there as well, at KSMCGF1. Until the next time, though, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. I've been Kieran McGinley. You've been watching. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.